Ooh-wee. Welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. If you watch my show, you're in my corner. Okay, so today's episode is a pre-fight show for UFC 183, Silva versus Diaz, in a middleweight clash. And they're treating this as a #1 contender match for a UFC belt. And so if Anderson Silva wins, he gets another shot at the middleweight title. If Nick Diaz wins, then maybe welterweight or middleweight title. Wow. This is a star-studded main card on pay-per-view. Yeah, so let's get started with a rundown of the main card. And it's the main event is a middleweight 5-rounder clash with Nick Diaz and Anderson Silva. Now, I kind of flip-flopped on who I think is going to win this fight. At first, I thought Anderson Silva by a landslide. Then I started thinking, well, Nick Diaz, he has a chin on him, and he keeps moving forward. He's hard to knock out, so maybe he will win. But at the end of the day, I got to go with Anderson Silva on this, but I want Nick Diaz to win. I think it's like this. Nick Diaz is a brawler. He's kind of like another Chris Lieben, but better. Skillfully, that is. And Anderson Silva, he picks his shots. He has surprise attacks with those leg kicks, with the high kicks, and some of his strikes. And he kind of baits guys in a little bit. So I think that Anderson Silva could knock out Nick Diaz on this, and if anything, win a unanimous decision win. So I'm picking Anderson Silva to win this fight by either knockout in the first or second round. And if he doesn't knock him out in the first, second round, then I think it could possibly go all 5 rounds after that. And Anderson will probably win a decision there. Yeah, but I hope I'm wrong, and I hope Nick Diaz destroys Anderson Silva in the first or second round and gets that victory and eventually fights for a belt. That would be a lot of fun to see Nick Diaz come off a win and fight for a belt. Yeah, so that will be a great quote-unquote super fight, as they say. And let's get to the co-main event, which is a welterweight clash with Tyron Woodley and Kelvin Gastelum. Tyron Woodley, he looked great knocking out Dong Hyun Kim. Kelvin Gastelum looked great against Jake Ellenberger. I gotta go with Kelvin Gastelum in this fight. I think he wins by a decision. I think he uses wrestling. He uses heavy hands. Kelvin Gastelum has a chin. Kelvin Gastelum, he's a young guy. He's moving up the ranks. Tyron Woodley, yeah, he could win this. This is a close match. It could go either way. But I think, if anything, Kelvin Gastelum could walk out with a decision win on this one. Because Tyrone's kind of hard to finish. But if he does finish Tyrone, it's in the later rounds. I'm a fan of both these guys, so good luck to both of them. And then, also on the main card, we have a lightweight clash with Joe Lauzon versus Al Iaquinta. This one also I've kind of gone back and forth with, but I think Joe Lauzon gets it done because he looked great against Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa was picking up momentum in that match, but Joe Lauzon was able to squeak out the win. Al Iaquinta, he's been submitted. And who submitted him? Michael Chiesa. So it's kind of that situation where Joe Lauzon beat a guy that beat Al Iaquinta, and it is what it is. This match right now makes sense though. Al Iaquinta has heavy hands, especially for lightweight. And if Al Iaquinta wins, I think it's going to be by knockout in the first, second round. But I think Joe Lauzon, he has speed, and he's going to be looking to take this fight to the ground and go for a submission. And I think he will get that submission in the first or second round. And if anything, he gets a unanimous decision win by getting dominant positions and going for submissions. And that's that. I think Joe Lauzon is looking good right now, and he's taking his experience in the octagon and really applying it in his ground game, which he is well known for. And I think he's just focused right now. And not that Al Iaquinta isn't, but I think Al, he'll bounce back after this fight, and he'll win some more matches. Neither guy's not really going anywhere in terms of getting cut by the UFC. Their jobs are both safe, and whoever loses this fight will definitely have a bright future still. So for here and now, I got Joe Lauzon winning this fight. Then also on the main card, we have Thales Leites versus Tim Boesch. Now this one, I gotta go with Thales Leites, I guess, because he's been knocking people out. He knocked out Trevor Smith. He knocked out Francis Carmah, and Tim Boesch. He knocked out Brad Tavares. Now this fight, though, it's going to come down to Thales' speed and his improved striking, and then his jiu-jitsu skills, which he's really known for, and his experience. Tim Boesch has experience too. He's been in the UFC for ages too. But I think Thales Leites is the more refined fighter, and he gets either a decision win, unanimous, or he wears out Tim Boesch, because Tim Boesch's cardio is not as good as Thales, and Thales capitalizes and takes it to the ground and gets a submission win in either the second or third round. Tim Boesch is definitely tough in that first round, and Thales Leites is going to have to weather the storm. But it should be a great fight. I'm rooting for Tim Boesch on this. I'm a Tim Boesch fan, but I think Thales gets it done. Then to kick off the main card in the welterweight division, we have Jordan Mein versus Thiago Alves. Thiago Alves years ago fought George St. Pierre for the UFC welterweight championship at UFC 100. Jordan Mein, on the other hand, though, he's a young, up-and-coming prospect, and I think he gets it done. I think Jordan Mein uses his good technical striking and picks his shots, lands some good combinations, and eventually finishes Thiago Alves. But Thiago Alves, I think he's back and he's looking good right now. But yeah, Jordan Mein, you know, he's a star in the making. And so I think this is the fight that really gets Jordan Mein on the spotlight more so. I think this fight either goes a decision win for Jordan Mein or a late stoppage. And if Thiago Alves wins, could be by knockout, because Thiago Alves is known for his heavy hands. So that wraps up the pre-fight show for UFC 183. Stay tuned in the coming week or so for my post-fight show, which will obviously be after UFC 183. And till then, see ya.